Hey, remote learners. I'm going to explain the assignment that we are going to work on this week. Oh boy, there we go. This will take us at least a week to complete. So we'll have all week starting Tuesday, and I'll make the due date on Monday so that you have the weekend to finish it up as well. You are going to use the mask pattern that you found last week to complete this assignment. You're going to copy and paste your link right here. And actually, I'm going to go into my example that I'm going to create as we go. So I put my link here. I found a different, this is actually the face mask that your classmates are making in person. I did edit it for their version, but for this one, we're just going to keep it the same. So here's my link. It took me right here. Lovely. It's frozen. So I'll show it to you on Pinterest. Took me right here to this mask. It is called the face mask pattern for kids. It's also known as the Olsen mask. So once this shows up, which it should have already been loaded, still cursing my internet, even though I have new internet. It just so happens to need to be reset every single day, but it actually works. But resetting the box daily is really annoying. Anyways, you don't need to listen to me complain. So here's the mask pattern. Sorry, I thought somebody was driving up my driveway. And this one specifically is for kids. But if you click right here, it takes you to this website and, well, PDF. And this is the mask pattern for the adults. So this is the one that I used when making the pattern for the sewers who are in person. So I copied this link. I don't think I pasted it yet, though. I'm coming back here. I'm going to paste it here because this is where you get the pattern pieces. So I'm going to X out of this because we don't need it anymore. So if you scroll all the way down, you get to the pattern pieces. So you want to make sure you include those pattern pieces just in case we're going to try to make this pattern. Then we are going to come back here. You're going to tell me what materials you need. So let's take a look. It says we need cotton fabric, half a yard. So we're going to type in half, oh my goodness, yard of cotton fabric. Then we also need, I'll move that out of the way, thread, hair ties, actually we're going to use numbers, 2 hair ties, and scissors. You'll also need if you're going to put scissors on here, you'd also need a sewing machine, right? But, and they use double-sided adhesive. We don't need to do that. We'll sew it down. The reason why they say double-sided adhesive is because they make these masks and then don't finish it off right here where my mouse is pointing. And they let, for example, if they were donated to a hospital, they use the double-sided adhesive to close this part up so they can make it whatever size it needs to be to fit somebody's face. That's how you fit this mask. So there you go. It says applied at the hospital. Now come over here to the example. So we're done with our supplies. I can get rid of that. We're going to talk about cutting fabric first. So it doesn't show you on this cutting the fabric, but it doesn't even show you on here cutting the fabric. I saw it on my original pattern instructions. So we'll come over here. I guess I shouldn't have closed out of that tab. The longer you sew, the more you know about it. You can just look at the pattern pieces and figure out how to go about cutting it out. And we'll get there later in the semester, but there's lots to learn about cutting out fabric. But for now, we're going to make it nice and easy on ourselves and just look at how they cut out the fabric and mimic it. So it says, if you've ever cut a pattern out before, place each piece right side of the piece of material and pin it on the pattern. Then just cut around the edges of the pattern. So essentially, you have, oh my gosh, they have this all over the place. You have mouth 2, face 2, cheek 2, and then you have the same in number 1. Mouth 1, face 1, cheek 1. That's just right and left side of your face. So you're going to go over here and we're going to say cut 2 of each. Mouth 1, cheek, oh my goodness, 1. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what the other one was called. No. Face 1. Oh. Face 1. My computer is super lagging. And then, oh my goodness, mouth 2, cheek 2, face 2. So you can see here the reason, oh my goodness, did this really unload itself? Okay, this fabric is folded in half. So you can see it's folded like this. Here's the fold, and there's 2 pieces of fabric. So when you cut this out, you're cutting out 2 at a time. That's why there's 2 face 2s, 2 face 1s, 2 cheek 2s, and so forth. So generally your pattern pieces, if this were like a traditional pattern, not made by some random person on the internet, it would say face 2, cut 2, face 1. It would have cut 2 written on the pattern. So all of the patterns that we will use throughout the school year will be written that way. It's just this one is made by, I guess, an amateur, if you want to say. So cutting the fabric, we're just going to say that you're going to cut each of these. We're going to place editing is temporarily disabled. That means my video is probably not recording right now because my internet has decided to turn itself off again and somebody's waking up from nap. Lovely. Place your pattern pieces on folded fabric. So you cut out 2 at once. Pin your pattern pieces to the fabric and cut close to the pattern piece. There you go. Basically everything you need to cut out your fabric. So instructions step by step. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I'm just going to get you started with it because I don't think you really want to sit here and watch me do this, but you'll get the gist. So we're going to go to step number 1 here. So cut each piece. Okay, it does tell you, obviously, you need 6 pieces total, but that doesn't give you as much description as that did, which I'm actually going to X out of that again. So face 1 and face 2 together alongside 3. So face 2 and 1 together along side 3. Now I know from experience that that is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. If your pattern doesn't tell you the seam allowance, it's okay. You don't have to write it down, but if it does, you want to make sure you write that down. So we could put in parentheses 1/4, and then we can either write SA for seam allowance or seam allowance. Okay, then we are going to add our picture. And apparently I don't know how to spell. So here's our picture. We're going to take this. Hopefully it'll let me grab and drag. Of course not. It will not let me grab and drag. So I'm going to do Control bullet shell for a screenshot. Lovely. And then we'll come over here. And we can use this screenshot multiple times for different steps because you can see it got at least 3 of the steps in here. We're going to go image, upload from computer. Screenshot right here. Open. And then we're going to just take it. Hey, look at my face. It looks so silly. Okay. Anyways, we're just going to take it and crop it so that it's just the picture that we need. Oh. Here we go. All right, that is it. And then we're going to resize it because that thing's tiny. Ta-da! A little blurry, but not the end of the world. So I want to show you on these pattern pieces here, it shows you side 1, 5, 2, 3. So this is side 3. Here's side 3. So that the pattern pieces are labeled to help you figure out what's being sewn together. So you'll go through each step and add it here. And you're going to want to put it into your own words. And you want to, these are simple instructions, but sometimes the instructions are super complicated. So you can simplify them so they're not super complicated. Use words that are more easily understandable. So go through the entire pattern, writing your instructions, adding pictures, and that's the assignment. So you can see that this is going to take some time to do, and that's why it's many days worth. And I'm creating a rubric that I will put on the assignment, which I'll be doing today so that I can add this assignment to Classroom for you guys tonight. I just figured I'd make my video while somebody was taking her nap so that she doesn't make a debut, I guess, on film. So anyways, if anybody has any questions about this at all, just let me know. It is pretty simple, and it's actually quite fun, and I'm excited to see what patterns you guys come up with in your instructions. So have a wonderful time, everybody, working on this assignment. I'm attempting to stop the video, and it's being slow.